Hey there, cats and kitties. I'm the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 17 of the anime series Akagami no Shirayuki-hime, or Snow White with the red hair. And I think, by and large, the feeling I'm left with by the end of this episode is WTF is going on? Of course, we pick up where we left off with Kazuki and his partner, for all intents and purposes, stealing off in the night, spiriting away with Shirayuki. And it's just turmoil for all of the characters after that. Obi had been knocked out because you had Raj's little siblings showing up, impromptu though it may have been. And, it's like he wakes up, and I didn't even know if we were going to follow up with where the hell Shirayuki even was. I was starting to suspect after a little while that we wouldn't know, and it would be something we would only pick up with in the next episode subsequently, because a lot of this is about, Zen and his posse getting to, this particular kingdom, hoping that they're going to get there in time before something happens, and Raj is very much mulling over his ineptability, really. Like, he failed Shirayuki, and he really takes it personally. But what I really love as a consequence of this is, he's starting to mature. He's starting to see the importance of his position and his importance of the promises he made to Shirayuki and that she made with him, and he's taking it very seriously. And so there is this camaraderie, in a sense, between Zen and Raj now, where, there is a mutual goal to find her, to seek her out and save her life. And, Zen's only real concern was she happy? Did she smile? Did she enjoy her time here? And she very much was, enjoying her time there. And I just loved that little sort of melancholy, yet very melodic, sequence where you see Raj all by himself and he's playing the violin again. I absolutely love his, skills. Then putting that in with this melody that he plays reminded me again of something you'd hear in like Sherlock Holmes, because of his own, skills at the violin and everything. It's just really awesome, the character drama that is unfolding. And it's not really all that surprising to me how motivated Obi is, and that he would spirit away himself to try to track down Shirayuki's kidnappers, and do so, just as Zen is arriving. He doesn't want to confront Zen. He doesn't want to have to be face to face. The position Raj himself was very much in and didn't want to have to deal with, but because of his position, because he is the prince and everything like that, he took the responsibility. So in a sense, we're seeing growth in, on the part of Raj, in that, in his trying to be more princely, trying to take responsibility and trying to make up for it. And Obi is just kind of speaking to his nature. He wants to, because of his own responsibility and honor, but he doesn't want to have to face Zen with no Shirayuki to show for it. He wants to be able to save her. And, he, of course, much like Raj does, they both feel mutually guilty in what happened. And so, all of that was really moving to me. And taking it steps further, one of the ongoing questions throughout the course of both seasons 1 and so far season 2 has been, are we ever going to really see a king and queen scenario in any event, mostly relating to, Zen and Izana's parents and all that kind of stuff? Like, where are they in the equation? I don't know. I'm curious. And so it was actually, it kind of took me aback and shocked me, pleasantly so, to meet Raj's father, although, whereas he came off very honorable and very respectable in his, encounter with Zen and saying, have your way with my castle. You are the equivalent of Raj. You can't treat this like it's your own homeland, but you're free to do whatever you need to do, whatever you feel you need to do to find Shirayuki and everything. And I loved that. But then I kind of backpedaled a little bit when, of course, we see that, with Raj's saying, take me with you. It's my responsibility. I want to find Shirayuki and return her safely to this kingdom, to you, to Zen. And we see the king is overseeing this, like eavesdropping on this, and he calls him like his annoying inept son or whatever it is. It's probably more scathing words even. He has no faith in his son, and a lot of that is because of who Raj is. Let's face facts. He isn't the most likable person from when we got to know him originally, and he is on a sort of growth scale at the moment, and that's really what draws me into his character. And everything he's been doing the last few episodes, I am loving this character exploration. I am very much a fan of his character because that burgeoning evolution in him is utmost compelling now. To be able to see him going from being a sort of squirrely, very, self-imposed, self-obsessed, just jerk face, and to see that he is actually, through his interactions with Shirayuki, he is growing. All of that is just, motivating me to want to know more about him and to see this actually happening. It just really draws me in. So the idea then that as Obi is tracking the two would-be kidnappers, of course they split because they got to get some water. The tall guy, whose name escapes me off the top of my head, goes to get the water, and we have Kazuki being surprised that somebody is now gangbusting their little setup, their little kidnapping scheme, and the kidnappers and the kidnappee are kidnapped again. By who? Apparently pirates on the open sea, the something claw. It's insane. And they linger. There's one point where some of the dialogue from Kazuki, and they linger in one sequence on this pirate woman's eyes being similar to Shirayuki's, and it's like, what are they implying here? Are we trying to return Shirayuki to her, like some extended family that she didn't know existed out there somewhere? Like maybe her grandparents didn't ever tell them her father was a pirate out there someplace. And because, Kazuki says something like the old man's going to be happy to see her. And then you have the pirate lady who's like, you can't return home. Well, what does she mean? Does she mean back to Clarinus? Does she mean back to Tamburun? Does she mean something we haven't as yet encountered? I don't exactly know, and that is why it's all WTF City. It's like, who are these people? What do they want? I want to know. I'm desperate to figure it out. And it seems as though, it's quite an interesting parallel and dynamic going on with all these characters, where you have Zen, his posse. Raj will be coming along for the ride, working in tandem with them. You have this partner to Kazuki, who is now sidled up with Obi, whether he wants to be or not. Obi is not, he's like almost lethal at this point. He's like, I'll kill you if you try anything. We're getting Shirayuki back. I'm coming with you, whatever the case may be. And this guy knows, it's these pirates. They're not playing games here, basically. And so it was just a really riveting episode to see that they made off with Shirayuki, to see that they subsequently had their whole kidnapping scheme befuddled by other kidnappers, to know that there is some hint of some greater aspect to this story. And I had a sense that they were going to be leading back to the people of the mountain, because it was like, why did Raj have to info dump that particular aspect of the surrounding area of his kingdom and everything? I had a sense that this was going to come into play somewhere along the line, but then of course we're also talking about pirates on the sea, and if they end up getting out to sea, if their ship launches, well, it's going to be endgame according to Kazuki. And so it's just like, WTF is going on? Who are these people? What is going on? Why do they want Shirayuki, if not for her hair, which is blatantly spoken by, I think it's Mihaya in this episode, that Kazuki said they're not after her hair. Well, what are they after? Are they trying to return her back to some parent she never knew she had, or a grandparent she never knew she had? It could actually be quite interesting to see this very erudite, intellectual woman who is self-reliant and self-taught and has all these interests in the apothecary things within the kingdom of Clarinus. She's holding her own in that environment, and it would be quite an interesting contrast if they debut the fact that her father or her grandfather or some relation she never knew about is actually a pirate. I don't know if it's going to go in that direction or not. Whatever direction it does go in, suffice to say, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Shirayuki handles herself. As per the PV for the next episode, the thing that stood out the most was her lamenting not having heard Zen's voice in a long time, or at least it feels like she hasn't heard his voice in a long time. And so it's going to be a level of, now I want to be able to see them reunited. I want to see what's going on with this, why so many people are after her, what the motivation is behind all of this, who these people all are, and but the end game is going to be seeing them reunited. And it's kind of a little bit like minorly off-putting that we're being taken out of this character drama that was beginning with the, you know, like the aspect of focusing, as I've been talking about, on Obi's interests in her or Raj's interests in her, and really sort of challenging her own perceptions of what she wants for herself, for she and Zen and all these kinds of things. I thought it was going to be really compelling, all of that. And now it's just like, you know, a wrench was thrown into the works. She's kidnapped. She's double kidnapped. It's like, what? This is all nonsense. What's going on? So I hope there is depth to this. I hope there is the same kind of character growth and depth that can come out of this, rather than just being a harrowing adventure where they got to go save her. And, you know, I hope there is a meaningful purpose behind all of this stuff, because it just seemed a little bit, again, minorly jarring from the direction I thought they were going, and I was excited by that. And this is just kind of taking me aback a little bit. Just got to reorient myself and try to put the pieces together and see what they're going to make out of this mess, you know. So yeah, I can't wait to find out. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you've seen this episode of Snow White with the Red Hair, what you thought of it, if you were as flabbergasted as I am. I say it's a very minor level, but it's still there. It's still like, WTF, what just happened? What's going on? As compared to where I thought it was going. Did you think it was going in this direction? Did you think it was going in that more character-driven, you know, delving into the interpersonal relationships between Obi and Raj and Shirayuki? Has this disappointed you that they're taking this turn with it? Like on a small level, yes, it has disappointed me. So I just hope, as I say, there's something more to it. And love it or hate it, anything goes in the comments below. Just love having that conversation with you guys. And so yeah, speculations are welcome. If you think you know what's going to be happening, please post no spoilers from the source material, as I always ask. But love having speculative conversations and just trying to piece together what the hell might be going on here. And yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.